Tell me the hospital gossip is wrong. You didn't just suspend the head nurse.
That particular bit of information got around fast, even for here. Yes, Elizabeth Baldwin was suspended.
Of course, let's just blame the head nurse right away. That makes so much sense. Never mind that she wasn't the one directly responsible for the patient that day. Maybe they should focus on the nurse who was actually on duty instead of automatically pointing fingers at Elizabeth. And hey, maybe they should look at the people who had access to the drugs and the patients in general. But of course, that would make too much sense, wouldn't it? And Portia, don't even get me started on her. The nerve of that woman, acting like she's got the moral high ground after everything she's done. She should be the one on suspension, not Elizabeth. I really hope Lucas uncovers what she's been up to. That would be the cherry on top. Honestly, this entire storyline is just absurd. 3 people are dead, and instead of calling the police, Elizabeth's getting suspended. And let's not even talk about the genius decision to burn Michael alive. Oh, and then there's the whole his wife cheated on him with his uncle plotline. That was just brilliant writing. Then Michael gets Sasha pregnant, and she's acting like she doesn't want him in the kid's life. But wait, Lulu is flying around the globe after a 4-year coma? Sure, that makes total sense. I'm getting nostalgic, but thank goodness for fast forward. As for Elizabeth, she didn't cause Sam and Dex's deaths. She was framed. If anyone needs to be removed from the picture, it's Portia. Also, didn't they mention security cameras in the hallways? But oops, no cameras in the patient rooms, right? So they never thought to check the footage. If they had, they might have seen Cyrus sneaking around in Sam and Dex's rooms. What a shocker. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Okay, let's break this down, shall we? First off, I'm just as lost as you are. Willow and Nina are not sharing Drew, no matter how much the internet wants to spin that story. Nina and Drew last got it on in Nina's penthouse, before Willow and Drew had their thing. So why is everyone acting like Nina and Willow are both fighting for Drew's attention? Newsflash. Nina had him first, and now she can't stand the guy. So, unless Drew is somehow turning into an emotional support man-child, there's no reason for Nina to ever sleep with him again. But let's dive into the real juicy part, Willow. Nina doesn't owe her anything. It's Nina's personal life. Willow might not like the truth when it comes out, but honestly, if she gets upset, she'll have no one to blame but herself. The reality check. Willow can't get mad at Nina for something Nina didn't even do to her. If Willow throws a tantrum, she's on her own, honey. Good luck with that. Now, what's all the fuss with Lulu? I don't know about you, but I'm loving this new Lulu. No offense to the old ones, but this one, so much better. Let's at least give her a shot instead of flipping out every time she shows up. Next up, Willow. So here's the deal. She adopted Wiley, sure, but let's not pretend everything's peachy just because she has full custody. She and Michael might be separated, but that doesn't mean she can just pack up the kids and head for a one-way trip to Europe without his say-so. If Willow wants to take Wiley or Amelia anywhere, she's legally bound to get Michael's approval unless she has some fancy court order giving her free rein. Oh, and don't forget, she might have accidentally broken the custody agreement that Martin set up for her during her separation proceedings. Whoops. But here's the kicker. Did anyone else catch Drew's subtle little dig when he asked Willow to be there for his important people? He named her Scout and Wiley, Amelia. Oh no, she doesn't even make the list. Looks like Drew's got some interesting priorities. Carly is Sonny's ride or die, no matter what. Yet somehow, everyone forgets that Sonny actually matters to his family. I mean, seriously, the guy plays a pivotal role in everyone's lives. He's not just a great man and friend, but an incredible father. I guess that's lost on most people here. And can someone explain why it's totally fine for Emma and Lulu to be feisty and speak their minds, But when Trina and Portia do the same, it's suddenly a problem. Double standards much. Let's talk about the Charlotte Valentin situation, shall we? Yeah, it's safer for her with Valentine, because, let's be real, until Lulu decided to play Assassin's Guide and ruin everything, Charlotte was free to explore without issue. Sure, down the road, someone might find them, but here's the kicker. Charlotte is the one person who could get Valentin to resurface and risk his life. If she's hanging out in Port Charles, easy target for anyone trying to get to Valentin. Lulu thinks Charlotte can just go to school and live her best life, like she's not in the middle of a mob war. Newsflash: Port Charles is not safe for her. She'd be way better off staying with Valentin, where she's out of sight, and yes, undetectable. Now back to the latest drama. So we all know who's behind Sam and Dex's deaths, right? But hold on, don't hospitals have cameras? Am I missing something here? Why on earth would anyone target the head nurse? It's like the writers are trying to outdo themselves with ridiculousness at this point. Lucky and Liz, oh please, can we not go there again? We've seen that storyline 100 times. Just let them have their beautiful friendship and call it a day. Still loving Jack Brennan and Carly though, that's one bright spot. But Lulu, she's getting old fast. How does she just leave Rocco on Christmas after being absent for 4 years? Priorities, Lulu, come on. Also Charlotte, she's always going to choose Valentin. No surprise there, she's way more Cassadine than Spencer. The family loyalty is real. As for Trina and Kai, yeah, that's a hard pass for me. Zero chemistry, just not buying it. Finally, can someone tell me why Jason isn't investigating the Sam and Dex deaths and checking in on Liz with all the suspicions floating around her? Oh wait, Lucky's back. Right, we're just doing the same tired storylines again. Classic. Some General Hospital fans think Lulu is acting like a brat, but honestly, her reaction is totally justified when you consider the fact that she woke up from a coma after 4 years. She came back to find herself in a completely new world, one where her father Luke, her aunt Bobby, and her nephew Spencer are all gone. Rocco, the sweet little boy she once knew, is all grown up, and her daughter Charlotte has been missing and on the run with her dad, Valentin. Plus, there's the whole issue of Sam, who stepped in as a mother figure to Rocco while Lulu was absent, and even gave her life to save Lulu's. Oh, and let's not forget, Dante was in love with Sam, though Lulu's keeping her true feelings for him under wraps. So yeah, she's got a lot on her plate, and calling her a brat doesn't really seem fair in the grand scheme of things. Now, as for Sonny seeking an apprentice, and Jason turning him down because of Danny, it's about time Michael stepped up to the plate. He should take over his father's business and territory in Port Charles. It seems like the writers are setting up a storyline where Michael ends up caught in a fire, but I'm hoping it's just a temporary injury. I'd love to see him come back with a thirst for revenge and start making people pay for everything they've done to him. And once again, Nina's keeping secrets, shockingly, and Curtis was right when he said, "The longer you wait to tell Willow, the bigger the explosion will be." Honestly, I'm bracing for Charlotte to either be killed off or end up in a coma just like her mom. But seriously, just give Lulu back her daughter already. Valentin should know better than to keep Charlotte on the run with him. He's a wanted criminal, for heaven's sake. Let Charlotte go home to her mom where she belongs, with family, and where she'll be safe. Lastly, I really hope Brick takes over Sonny's business, and then just fades into the background. I've been watching since the first episode, and honestly, gangsters just don't have a place in today's world. How old is Wiley again? And when did I miss his sudden obsession with political power shifts? I mean, I get it. Willow had to do something monumentally stupid. And no, I don't mean Drew, to trigger the inevitable custody battle. But seriously pretending her kid, who probably just wants a new Star Wars toy, because we all know Transformers is a no-go, right? actually cares about how her lover is climbing the political ladder, it's laughable. I highly doubt he's giving two thoughts to the monuments either. This storyline has so much potential, but the writing is just watering it down. And that's the problem, isn't it? Willow's clearly coming up with excuses just to keep interacting with Drew. I mean, who in their right mind invites their affair partner over for Christmas days after the affair is all over town? Oh, right, because Drew might be lonely. The guy's 50, he'll survive. Also, Willow's totally okay with divorcing Mikey. Nina hired Martin, and the guy's already drafting divorce papers without even consulting Willow. Is she even making decisions at this point, or is she just too busy swooning over Drew? I thought she wanted to work it out with Mikey, or is that just Mikey's one-sided dream? Charlotte? Oh, I just don't get her. Look, you're a teenage girl. Your father is a fugitive, constantly looking over his shoulder, not just because of the WSB, but because he's got every law enforcement agency gunning for him. Oh, and let's not forget about the mob, specifically Sonny, will definitely be gunning for him if he ever figures out that it was Valentin who messed with his bipolar meds. The guy has a ton of enemies, and you never know who'll show up next. You could literally end up in the line of fire with no warning. And let's talk about her mother for a second. After 4 years, Lulu finally gets her back, and Charlotte rationalizes staying with her dad by saying her ma has Rocco. So apparently she needs her too. Yeah, because prioritizing your father over your mother makes so much sense. I just hope Charlotte has the decency to clue Lulu in on her decision. I mean, I don't want Lulu traipsing across Europe, searching for her daughter, only to find out Charlotte's chilling with Valentin. What a surprise, right? But honestly, I think Charlotte's choice makes perfect sense to her. She doesn't want to live her life running from everyone, but she also doesn't want Valentin to be alone. She'd spend the whole time worrying about him and feeling awful if something happened to him with no one by his side. She knows Lulu's fine, surrounded by people who'll have her back. But Lulu hasn't been around, has she? Valentin has. So what Lulu wants? Irrelevant. It's about who's been there for her, and Valentin, for all his flaws, has been that person. The thing is, Charlotte's just a kid. Her father should have never put her in that position. Valentin should have stepped up as the adult and made the call to keep her safe. If that meant letting Lulu take her home, fine. Instead, he's turned her into a pawn, asking her what she wants, knowing full well she's going to say the same thing every time. But Papa will be alone. We've all heard it, ad nauseum. Seriously, every time. And here's the thing, he may love her, but Valentin is a terrible father. He's more concerned with his own guilt than protecting his daughter, and it's honestly painful to watch. I have to admit, I'm kind of appreciating quiet Michael right now. I've never been his biggest fan, but there's something about his calm exterior and the calculated decisions behind it that's interesting. I really hope he manages to take down Willow. I can't help but feel like Willow might deserve to lose it all. She really has a knack for being self-righteous and hypocritical at the same time. Michael has always carried a bit of darkness within him, and I think a lot of that stems from being raised by Sonny and Carly. But another part of it comes from being the isolated kid in Port Charles. Chase is actually Michael's first real friend. Before that, his life was all about being the protector for his younger siblings, mostly shielding them from the chaos of Sonny's world and Carly's emotional challenges. Michael tends to hold a grudge when people betray him because he can't bring himself to confront Sonny and Carly for all they've put him through. The only thing really keeping him from unleashing all of his darker impulses is Wiley and Amelia. He even told Carly as much when she asked why he let her leave with the kids. As for his need to keep the peace, that definitely comes from his upbringing. But the part of him that feels more withdrawn and guarded, that can be traced back to the trauma he experienced during his time in prison. You could say it all started with Franco's actions, or even with Christina's reckless driving, which led to some tragic events, including Claudia's loss. If that hadn't happened, she wouldn't have kidnapped Carly and tried to take baby Joss, and Michael wouldn't have ended up in a position where he had to make life or death decisions. It's all a complicated web of circumstances that shaped who he is today. Anna, where do we even begin with this walking contradiction? Everyone's always asking, what are your thoughts on Anna? And the answer is, she's a master of hypocrisy. She goes on and on about how awful Sonny and Brennan are, which, okay, we get it with Sonny. He's a whole mess. But Brennan? Really? What has he done to deserve the wrath of Anna? Absolutely nothing. Yet she acts like he's the devil incarnate, which, spoiler alert, he's not. And then there's Jason. Oh boy. Anna's basically giving him an ultimatum. It's me or Sonny. But let's be real here, she's constantly running to him to clean up her messes. She's the police commissioner, yet somehow, she's also moonlighting as the queen of sketchy decisions. First, she breaks into Valentin's house to get evidence, finds it, and then hides it. Why? Because she's so deeply in love with him and feeling guilty for shooting Charlotte. Real professional Anna. But wait, there's more. She kidnaps Martin, the mayor's brother, no less, ties him up, interrogates him, and at one point, it looks like she's about to ask Jason to take care of him the old-fashioned way. But hey, let's not forget the time she assaulted and handcuffed Brennan in his own hotel room. Who needs the law when you can just make your own rules, right? What really gets under my skin, though, is how every time Anna shows up, she's playing the who's bad, who's good game. Honestly, it's like watching a confused moral compass spin around at top speed. We get it, she's always been morally challenged. Hello, Duke Days, but now it's just downright ridiculous. And speaking of ridiculous, what's with the teary-eyed Anna in every single scene? Is Finola just always on the verge of tears, or is the writing really that inconsistent? Oh, and let's talk about All My Children for a second. ANC actually wrote Anna better, way better. It's almost laughable how much more compelling she was on that show than she's been on General Hospital. And don't even get me started on what GH did to Alex. She was the better character. But nope, they had to bring her in, only to make her part of Anna's tortured backstory. Now let's circle back to Anna and her complex relationship with Sonny and Jason. She hates Sonny, even after it was revealed her boyfriend messed with his meds and caused all that chaos. But then she turns around and plays the I love Jason card. She lets criminals walk free, but God forbid Brennan says hello to Emma, cue the taser. Can we get some consistency here? And the cherry on top, Anna lecturing Jason about putting his kids first, while she continuously drags him into dangerous missions that take him away from them. It's like she's living in some warped, alternate reality where rules don't apply to her. The worst part? The endless, unnecessary tears. It's almost like she can't get through a scene without looking like she's about to start sobbing for no reason. All in all, Anna's becoming the embodiment of confusion, hypocrisy, and tear-filled chaos. It's exhausting to watch. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.